In the shadowed valleys of Eldoria, where ancient forests whispered secrets to the wind and dragons slumbered beneath mist-shrouded mountains, two kingdoms teetered on the brink of annihilation. The Iron Throne of Valthor, ruled by the fierce Queen Alexia, clashed endlessly with the crystalline spires of Lyranth, governed by the cunning King Thorn. Alexia was a vision of unyielding strength, tall and lean, her dark hair tied in a bun, clad in leather armor etched with runes of protection. She wielded a massive greatsword with ease. Her voice commanded armies and struck fear into foes. Whispers in the halls called her the Butcher Queen, a title earned on blood-soaked battlefields where she had slain countless enemies with her own hands. On the opposing side stood Princess Elara of Lyranth, a beacon of ethereal grace. Her long, silken hair cascaded like moonlight over porcelain skin, and she favored gowns of flowing silk embroidered with enchanted threads that shimmered like stars. Elara was no fragile flower, though. Her tongue was sharp as a dagger, her mind a labyrinth of political intrigue. She had orchestrated alliances and sabotaged Valthor's supply lines from the safety of her tower, earning her the moniker the Silver Serpent. The two women had never met face to face, but their hatred burned bright. Alexia saw Elara as a scheming manipulator hiding behind her kingdom's walls, while Elara viewed Alexia as a barbaric warmonger who reveled in chaos. The war had raged for a decade, draining both realms of resources and lives. Dragons awakened by the conflict ravaged villages, and dark sorcery seeped from the earth, twisting the land. Desperate for peace, the elders of both kingdoms convened in neutral territory, the Whispering Grove, a sacred forest where no blood could be spilled without invoking ancient curses. There, they proposed a union that would bind the thrones, a marriage of convenience between Queen Alexia and Princess Elara. Refusal meant mutual destruction. Acceptance promised an uneasy alliance with shared rule over a united Eldoria. Alexia arrived at the grove astride her warhorse, her armor gleaming under the dappled light. "This is folly," she growled to her advisors. "Wed a pampered viper? I'd sooner kiss a dragon's maw." But the omens were clear. A prophetic vision from the grove's oracle showed flames engulfing both kingdoms unless the bond was forged. Elara, escorted by her guards in flowing robes, stepped from her carriage with a haughty lift of her chin. "Marry that brute? She'll likely strangle me in my sleep," she hissed to her handmaiden. Yet the same vision haunted her dreams, and she knew the stakes. The ceremony was swift and cold, performed under the watchful eyes of elder druids. Rings of enchanted silver were exchanged, binding their fates with a pulse of magic that made their skin tingle. No kisses, no vows of love, only a grim oath to maintain the peace. The newlyweds were whisked to the neutral palace of Aetherhold, a floating citadel high in the clouds, sustained by ancient levitation spells. It was meant to be a honeymoon of diplomacy, but from the first night, sparks flew, not of passion, but of fury. Alexia slammed her fist on the dinner table, accusing Elara of poisoning Valthor's wells during the war. "You slithered in the shadows while I fought honorably," she roared. Alara's eyes flashed like storm clouds. "Honor? You sacked our villages and left orphans in your wake. You're a monster in armor." She flung a gollop at Alexia, who caught it midair with a smirk that only fueled Alara's rage. Days turned to weeks in the isolated palace, where they were forced to collaborate on treaties and patrols. Alexia patrolled the borders on Dragonback as they argued over maps in the war room. But isolation bred unexpected intimacy. One stormy night, as lightning cracked the sky and the citadel shuddered, a band of rogue sorcerers, remnants of the war's chaos, attacked Aetherhold. They sought to shatter the Union and plunge Eldoria back into war. Alexia charged into the fray, her greatsword cleaving through shadows. Elara, no warrior, revealed her hidden talent. She wove illusions with her enchanted rings, conjuring phantom armies to confuse the invaders. In the heat of battle, Alexia took a bolt of dark magic meant for Elara, crumpling to the ground. Elara knelt beside her, her hands glowing with healing light she had learned in secret. "You fool," she whispered, tears streaking her face. "Why save me?" Alexia groaned, her hand clasping Elara's. "Because you're my wife now, and maybe not the viper I thought." As the attackers fled, the two women shared a tentative truce. Over the following months, barriers crumbled. Alexia taught Elara to wield a dagger, her calloused fingers guiding Elara's soft ones, their bodies close in the training yard. Elara introduced Alexia to the subtleties of court poetry and stargazing from the citadel's balconies, where whispers turned to laughter. One evening, under a canopy of auroras, Alexia pulled Elara into a fierce embrace. "I hated you for what you represented," she admitted, her voice softening. "But now, I see the fire in you matches mine." Elara's lips curved in a genuine smile, her fingers tracing Alexia's jaw. "And I see the heart beneath the armor. Perhaps this convenience isn't so burdensome after all." Their first kiss was like a spell igniting, passionate, raw, bridging the chasm of enmity. The marriage, once a chain, became a bond of love. United, they quelled the dragons, banished the dark sorcery, and ruled Eldoria as equals, the Butcher Queen and the Silver Serpent, lovers forged in fire and fate. And in the whispers of the forests, their story became legend, a reminder that even the fiercest enemies could find solace in each other's arms.